In the confusing world of personal finance, where we are constantly faced with questions like whether to save or spend, whether to pay off bills or invest, and whether to save for emergencies or not, it's easy to feel like a ship lost in a storm. But in the middle of this storm, Warren Buffett, known as the Oracle of Omaha, stands out as a steady source of knowledge and financial know-how. His long history as an investor and huge net worth of more than $100 billion show that he has mastered the art of building wealth. In today's trip through the world of financial knowledge, we'll go on an adventure to break down and understand 8 basic principles that Warren Buffett has said can help you plan your own financial path. The world of financial management is full of dangerous hurdles that can throw off even the most determined person who wants to get rich. We struggle all the time to find the right balance between immediate gratification and long-term security. We try to tell the difference between safe investments and risky bets, and we try to make a budget that doesn't feel too tight. At the same time, getting out of debt is a difficult task. Instant pleasure often lures us into the dangerous seas of spending without saving, putting saving on the back burner and leaving us with dwindling funds by the end of the month. But it's exactly when we're facing these problems that Warren Buffett's tried and true principles help us. They give us essential tips on how not just to survive the financial storm, but also sail through it with style and grace. Here are 8 principles you should follow after getting paid. Principle number 1, prioritize savings. This first principle of Buffett's, which he beautifully encapsulates in his aphorism, "Do not save what is left after spending, but spend what is left after saving," asks for a significant adjustment in the way we think about money. Savings are often seen as the few crumbs that are left behind after we have spoiled ourselves. However, Buffett urges us to shift our thinking away from this paradigm. He is certain that the process of establishing our savings should come first, and then our spending should follow. This paradigm shift pushes us to make regular savings a non-negotiable priority, regardless of how much money we bring in, and it doesn't matter how much we earn. It encourages us to give priority to our future self, which helps to ensure that we will not have to scramble for resources when the golden years of retirement draw near. The first step in putting this theory into practice is to set aside a certain amount of money as soon as the money is deposited into our bank accounts. This sum should be seen as a non-negotiable expenditure, similar to rent or utilities. Principle number 2, build an emergency fund. The building of a rainy day fund is one of the priorities that Warren Buffett stresses highly. He emphasizes that capital mixed with fortitude in a moment of crisis is priceless, which means that having both is extremely valuable. This extends well beyond the simple establishment of a financial safety net to protect us from the unpredictability of life's curveballs when they come our way. It is also about equipping ourselves with the resources necessary to take advantage of unforeseen possibilities that may present themselves amidst all of this upheaval. Losing a job, experiencing a health emergency, or having unexpected house repairs are all examples of events that may wreak havoc on our finances and are all part and parcel of the unpredictable journey that is life. The establishment of a contingency savings account may serve as a robust financial defense mechanism, protecting us from unexpected foes. It instills in us the self-assurance necessary to traverse the turbulent waters of the financial system, so preventing us from succumbing to panic and making rash choices. The path starts out with simple steps, such as putting away enough money to cover the costs of 1 month's living expenses, and then progressively increasing this reserve so that it can support us for at least 6 months at a time. Principle number 3, creating a budget. Budgeting is a fundamental component of any responsible financial plan and should be treated as such. Buffett claims vehemently that if you acquire things you do not need, shortly you will be forced to sell things you need, and he bases this assertion on experience. This eloquent proclamation highlights the possible repercussions of spending without moderation. A budget is more than just a simple ledger of revenues and spending. Rather, it functions as a well-constructed roadmap that leads us in an unwavering direction toward our monetary objectives. It helps us differentiate between the things that we desire and the things that we need, which prevents us from frivolously wasting the money that we have worked so hard to get, while at the same time serving as a reality check on the places that our money is going. The goal here is not to force ourselves into a life of deprivation, but rather to acquire the knowledge necessary to make educated choices about our spending. Because achieving our goal of financial stability should not necessitate giving up our pleasure in the process. The first step in this path is to create a spending plan that takes into account our goals in this area of our lives while still leaving space for us to have some fun. Principle number 4, paying off debt. Buffett provides a pithy bit of advice in response to the urgent problem of debt, which is as follows. If you find yourself in a hole, the most essential thing to do is to quit digging. This succinct remark emphasizes how urgent it is for us to free ourselves from the clutches of the oppressive chains of debt. Our resources may be sucked dry by unrelenting vacuums in the form of our debts, especially the kinds of debts that carry high interest rates. Getting rid of debt means stopping this kind of financial bleeding and laying the groundwork for wealth building. The first step in the process is compiling a list of all of the client's current debts, with the primary goal being the settlement of the obligations carrying the highest rates of interest. Utilizing tactics like the debt snowball or debt avalanche, as well as seeking the advice of a financial expert, are also viable options. The goal of achieving freedom from one's financial obligations is not only to become financially self-sufficient, rather, it is to be liberated from the ever-present threat of anxiety. Principle number 5. Investing. Buffett is a fervent supporter of the practice of investing and maintains that at least 20% of our income need to be set aside for this specific reason. His concept is well expressed in the sentence, "Someone sitting in the shade now because someone planted a tree a long time ago," which is one of his most famous quotes. Putting money into the stock market is comparable to planting the seeds for a prosperous future. It requires leveraging the force of compounding, which means turning our money into a productive asset that generates more wealth than it started with. Beginning with investing alternatives that have a minimal level of risk is a sensible strategy for those who are new to the market. As one gains both self-assurance and expertise, it becomes possible to explore many different investing opportunities. The most important things are to keep oneself informed, practice patience, and recognize that investing is a long-term game. Principle number 6, creating a spending plan. Buffett's method for budgeting is consistent with his philosophy that you've got to preserve control of your time and you can't do it until you say no. You can't allow other people decide what you do with your life. This idea highlights the need of having a spending plan in order to keep the momentum going toward the achievement of our financial objectives. It guarantees that our resources are allocated wisely, which enables us to avoid the pull of impulsive purchases that can lead us astray from the path we had meant to take. Getting started with this process entails describing your monetary objectives and allocating your resources in line with those objectives. This should be done while maintaining a healthy equilibrium between the satisfying of your requirements and the fulfillment of your aspirations. It is essential to have flexibility, which paves the way for modifications when your personal and professional circumstances change. Principle number 7, always retain cash. Regarding the significance of preserving liquidity, Buffett is of the opinion that cash is to a firm what oxygen is to an individual, never thought about while it is there, the only thing in mind when it is missing. Cash is like oxygen in that it is never thought about when it is present, but becomes the only thing in mind when it is lacking. The availability of liquid assets serves as an essential financial buffer, allowing for more adaptability in the face of unanticipated costs and the ability to capitalize on unexpected possibilities. While it is important to invest money, doing so to the point where all of your liquid assets are invested might leave you financially unable to deal with unexpected expenses. As a result, it is important to always have a certain amount of liquidity in one's possession. Principle number 8, outsourcing. Warren Buffett, a staunch supporter of the idea that one should concentrate on their abilities rather than their weaknesses, recommends delegating responsibilities that are outside of one's area of competence. According to him, the difference between successful people and truly successful people is that really successful people say no to practically everything. He makes this argument in his book. When you outsource work, You free up your time and resources to focus on the activities that will provide you the greatest return on investment. The application of this approach extends to areas of finance where specialist expertise may be required, such as the preparation of tax returns or the administration of investments. Start by determining the activities that take up too much of your time or cause you stress, and then determine whether or not these responsibilities may be handed off to other people who are more capable. This not only makes proper management of time more straightforward, but it also ensures that the activity will be carried out successfully. In conclusion, the ideas that Warren Buffett has articulated provide a detailed roadmap for the astute administration of our financial resources. They cover the key building blocks, such as putting money aside, being ready for unexpected events, organizing one's finances and expenditures, reducing one's debt, investing, managing one's liquidity, and delegating chores in an effective manner. The incorporation of these ideas into our day-to-day financial routine may start out slowly, but it is imperative that we maintain a level of unflinching consistency throughout the process. It is essential to have the mindset that achieving monetary security is a journey, not a destination. This is a marathon, not a sprint. Therefore, you should acknowledge the wisdom of Warren Buffett and let it to guide you with assurance toward a future that will be marked by financial stability. What will be the first step that you take? If you found this video to be educational, please remember to give it a like, share it with your friends, and subscribe to the channel. As we continue on our path toward financial awareness and empowerment, be sure to check back here for further enlightening material. We are grateful that you have decided to begin on this journey with us.